So in my recent videos, we've been getting some AI to play Mario Kart Wii, and whilst it's been going well, one small part has been missing. We just need some items to add in. So today at long last, we're going to be getting our AI to play with items. Up until now, I'd been avoiding adding items in, and for good reason. It's a lot harder to include items for a good few reasons. The biggest reason was that until now, every time the AI's speed dropped below a certain threshold, I would kill the AI and reset it. This helped speed up the training by a lot, as otherwise it would just spend the first half of its life just going into walls and not really learning much. So by resetting it, I was able to get it back on the track quickly. But that approach didn't really work with items, since getting hit by a green shell or whatever is going to stop your speed and cause you to die even if there's nothing you could really do about it. To get around this problem, I'm going to be using a bit of a two-step plan. The first step is going to be just to train the AI without items, as I have done before, and get it to the point of being able to just drive around the track with no issues whatsoever. Once this is done, we're going to be throwing it in the deep end with no more easy mode, and finally allow it to play with all of the items possible. If you want a bit more of a technical overview as to how this AI is working, be sure to check out my last video, as I covered it pretty in depth there. The only thing that has changed from this video to the last is that the AI is now only rewarded for its speed. This means the faster it goes, the more reward it gets. As simple as that, the whole way throughout the track. Whilst this AI is training, in the corner you're also going to be able to see a little bar chart, which shows what the AI is thinking of all of the different actions as it drives around. The AI has 7 different actions it can take, including a hard left, a soft left, wheeling and slightly turning left, going forward, and then all of the same actions on the right. Anyway, with all that out the way, let's get into the first part of training with no items. So after 80 hours of training, our AI is finally able to get around all 3 laps of the track and can definitely drive reasonably well. I could have left it running a bit longer to really master the end of the track as it was still going off-road a bit, but I couldn't wait to get into the items. So right now we're going to be dropping the exact same AI you just saw into a game with items, and we'll see how it gets on. So after dropping the AI into a game with items, things began pretty normally. It even went through the first item set without any real changes, meaning the items didn't really bother it that they were there. Plus, when you're in first, the items don't have a huge impact on the game, so it wasn't like things were going to drastically change due to the items as long as it stayed in a top position. However, towards the end of the first lap, something a little unexpected happened. Yeah, that didn't go as planned. So the blooper caused the AI to go completely berserk, having no idea what was going on due to the black stuff all over its screen. Here's it again one more time, and pay attention to the evaluations that the AI comes up with, as they just go completely wild. So bloopers aside, this AI actually did okay and was still able to drive pretty well as long as it maintained a decent position. If it managed to fall back into a lower position, it tended to not do great as the items kind of threw it off, especially when there were things like bullets and stars going on, as it just didn't really know how to react. It also had a somewhat similar but less drastic reaction to things like shocks and mega mushrooms, as these caused Funky Kong to change size, and everything that AI previously knew kind of got thrown out the window. But anyway, now for the moment of truth. How did the AI perform after being trained with items? Well, it did okay, but really not how I expected. In fact, it kind of got worse at driving in order to do something else instead. The AI chose to continually sabotage itself, slowing itself down to ensure it was in 12th place, but still had really high evaluations. The reason why was because it wanted to be in last, so it had a chance of getting really strong items like bullets and golden mushrooms. As you can see now, when it gets a bullet, its evaluations just go absolutely crazy because of how fast it goes. So the AI really wasn't bothered by actually driving well, but instead just hoped to hang back and pick up items in order to get that huge reward that they provided. So anyway, here's an entire run of the AI playing after being trained both with and without items. The driving really wasn't that impressive as I mentioned, however it did do really well in terms of the reward it picked up. The reward it gained throughout an entire episode almost doubled from where it was at after training without items compared to with, just because it was able to get so much reward off of hanging back and waiting for good items like bullets. With some slight tweaks to the reward and some extra training, I do think we could have got this AI to where I wanted it to get to, however I'd already spent a really long time on this project at this point. Also, it quite nicely leads me to my next point, which is what I'm going to be doing with the code of this project going into the future. As my channel has been growing recently, which I'm extremely grateful for, I've gotten a lot of requests for more participation and access to the source code. I'm thinking of setting up a Discord server to allow people to participate more in the code if they want to help with the development of this project. I also will be looking to make the source code available, however I'm currently in the process of revamping it, as currently it's really ugly and it's really difficult to even get running, and the source code alone wouldn't even be enough. So I'm hoping to revamp it to make it a lot better and quicker, and then once that's out the way, I will eventually release the source code. So it is coming, don't worry. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.